Hi, I'm Micki.
Hi, I'm Kat.
We are Cat and Mouse Astrology. Welcome to the full moon, and it's big and bright in Cancer. Ooh,
Cancer.
welcome home.
Oh, watery moon.
Watery moon.
I think it's refreshing after like this week of Mars activity.
We almost need it.
Yeah, I feel refreshed. It's coming. I can feel it. Yeah.
It's kind of like going out every day, like to fight the crowds or to do the job or whatever, and then getting to come home by the warm fireplace and have a
Mhm.
nice meal in front of you,
Take a bubble bath.
take a bubble bath.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's kind of nice.
it is nice.
I always like a Cancer moon.
Hmm.
And I mean, moon is at home in Cancer.
Yeah, that's right. Cancer is the moon's sign.
It's like the moon gets to take a little bubble bath.
Well, bubble bath for the moon.
Bubble bath for the moon.
Great image. That should be a Sabian symbol.
It is. I pulled up the Sabian symbols for those, so for that one too. Let me share our chart and let's see what we get
It's a
here.
bubble bath. The moon is taking a bubble bath.
That actually would be a great visual. I'd like to see that one, wouldn't I? So this is 16 degrees of Cancer,
Okay.
opposite Mercury. So maybe you might be dealing with, or it might have been a week of communication tug of war in some way.
Conjunct Mercury. Wait, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, Capricornian messages because it's Mercury in Capricorn,
Yeah.
whatever that may mean. Capricorn being, the sign of trying to achieve something. Also government and those things that are, the establishment or the authority. So I don't
Fixed
know.
Earth or cardinal Earth. Cardinal Earth? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So something may be turning, some changes may be coming,
There you go.
especially with the sun trine Uranus
Hmm.
and the moon sextile Uranus. So
Nice.
we get a,
Revolution.
yeah, harmonious resolution because we get that. Um, Rick Levine calls it a point of Thales where Uranus sits right now.
Yeah. Why is it? What's the point of Thales? What does that mean?
It means that we've got, and I'll scoot it down here a little bit. It means that we've got, I'll come back to that.
Yeah.
The moon, pull it down. Can I make it smaller? Can I make it a little smaller? No. Yes, I can. Aha. There it is.
Someday we'll get at this.
Give me
I don't
control.
even try. I just let you do it all. Just-
So here's our moon and sun opposite.
okay.
And
What a
the
full
point
moon
of
is.
Thales is that, and you can sort of see this here, the blue line
Yeah. That's the
between,
trine.
right, between the sun and Mercury, frankly, both, because they're
Yeah.
conjunct, goes to Uranus,
Okay.
and a blue line between Uranus and the moon. So
Oh,
here's the sextile, here's the trine. The point of Thales is Uranus.
I see.
And the point of Thales is some point that's determined because it's the in-between point between a sextile and a trine.
I see. I've
And
never
it,
heard that term before.
yeah, it's there's a array of those points, and I am certainly no expert. Um, but I'd like to get better at understanding because I really love the aspects.
I'm
'Cause I
sure it
find
has great significance because trines and sextiles are great. So it's just like, oh, look at that beautiful, beautiful combination. It's well balanced. It's probably related to some sort of Fibonacci number, some like
exactly,
sacred geometry.
exactly. Because like this is the point of ease, right? Because you've got ease of the sextile and
That's
you've got
right.
the ease of the trine. So it's
That's
like
right.
in some way Uranus is the helping hand.
Wow. Thank you, Planet of Revolution and
Yeah.
Upheaval. Thanks for
Sometimes change
out.
fixes it.
Change fixes it. That's right. That's what my life
I just needed a change.
and my work life, Capricorn, 10th house. Upheaval
Yep.
and change. It just fixes things. It's just fixed now.
Fixes things. That's right. I just needed a change, and Now it's okay.
All is well.
All is well. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it?
it is.
So let me come back up to our beginning thing again. Here's a general interpretation, and then we'll get into the nitty of it, of the nitty and the gritty of it. Can you nurture yourself and communicate your needs when
Mm.
your values are changing?
Oh.
So, we've got our interpretation, our moon being emotions, reflection, receptive, yin, negative, passive, female, and
Mhm.
other things we might think of. In opposition, which is a bit of a tug of war, a tension with the sun, ego, illumination, our light, our life, our center, everything that is our strength of heart.
Mhm.
And that opposition is, of course, every full moon,
Mhm.
but it's not every full moon that it's conjunct Mercury.
No, it's not.
So, and then again with the sun trine Uranus and the moon sextile Uranus, we have this kind of juicy combination where we get a helping hand from Uranus to do whatever it is that we value in a way that may be no longer the way we used to do it.
Now I want to know what Uranus's degree is.
Yeah, what is Uranus's degree? Let me scoot
Uranus.
on down. Let me scroll down here and we'll see.
Oh, well, Uranus is really important right now.
Yeah, Uranus
If you just tell me the number of it.
14 Taurus.
Oh, the children playing at the seashell at the shore. Yeah. On the beach, children play while shellfish grope at the edge of the water. So it's that transitionary period again. We've seen this symbol before.
Over and over.
Renee's been here forever.
I'm telling you.
So we're still playing on the beach, and it's the Cancer moon, and that's great.
And this
And we're
is in
still
some way
doing
the helping hand.
this is the helping hand.
So
Shellfish.
maybe it's the respite we need.
Oh yeah, day at the beach.
Yeah.
Day at the beach. Sometimes we're more like the groping shellfish. Sometimes we're more like the children at the beach. Sometimes we are the edge of the water.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to come back up to this one again. Um, we've got a moon that's at home in Cancer, showing that we need a rest.
Rest.
We need this little chill pill here.
Day at the beach.
Right. And because Venus is involved, and I haven't said anything about that yet, but we've got Venus square Uranus. At the
Oh,
same time that Uranus is giving the helping hand.
oh, that's where you get values changing.
That's where the values have to change because,
Um,
whatever it is that we've been like desiring or, loving or where we want to, spend our money or our time, there has to be a little bit of an adjustment there. The change is coming because it has to meet our need for rest and relaxation.
yeah,
Yeah. So, and somehow Mercury is involved in this, and that has to do with the structures in our lives.
yeah.
So, and because it's a square, there's a corner that's being turned,
Yep.
and the square is in Aquarius. So it's
Oh,
not just us alone, it's our collective values.
it's the collective values. How funny.
Give us your feedback, Kat. Tell me what you think here. Like the epiphany.
No, just like it's just like on point in my personal life. On point. This whole week has been about like what is a collective? What does the word collective mean? What is community? What is cooperation?
Can you give any detail on that? Because that's been 100% true for me too.
You mean like personal detail?
Yeah. Are you
Okay.
willing to share?
I mean, I'll try to be tactful. Um, just was upheaval at work earlier, not at my work, at the place where I work, which is a shared workplace. we don't all work together, but we occupy the same space. And there's been lots of talk about collective. There's just conflict over the meaning of collective and the responsibilities we have to the collective. And there's a lot of tension. And then it also feels like as we're getting closer to this moon, the resolution is presenting itself, at least to a certain extent.
Yeah, isn't that fascinating? And here's our chart again, because you know, it's always interesting to talk with you because you and I are opposite. So wherever we see this, it's opposite for us. So what's
for
going on with you, I was like, okay, how am I reflecting that?
yeah.
What's going on that's interesting for me? And for me, it's been a collective situation where a bunch of friends are needing to help one friend to deal with health and legal issues. And
So
she couldn't do it alone.
yeah.
It really took, I mean, we've been talking about how many old ladies does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I would like to be a part of that old ladies group because I know what you're talking about, and you should let me be a part of your collective.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing that it actually really takes literally a handful of people to accomplish some, the goals that are, calling the lawyer, getting a hold of the banks, dealing with, these other administrative Capricornian issues.
Oh yeah.
These Capricorn issues, this Mercury Sun Capricorn issue,
Right.
in a way that meets the needs of the person that we're doing it for.
Right.
Right. Their emotional needs, which is a caring issue here in Cancer.
Right.
And this is in some way driven by this change that they didn't ask for, but that's happened to them.
Right.
Right. And so in some way, I am part of in this situation, I'm part of the Uranian helping hand.
Yeah.
In your situation, are you also part of the Uranian helping hand? Yeah.
Yes, I'm the Uranian helping hand. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So somebody out there may need a helping hand, or you might be the helping hand.
Right.
You might be the one talking about it.
You might be, yeah, you might be the one. So I'm also Mercury in this situation.
Right, and that's why I was wondering about your opposite take on this, because you and I are flipped on this.
Right. So let's just clarify for people here. So because I'm in the 10th house, everything we're talking about is happening in my outer world, away from my home, my place of business, where I do my capitalist wage laborer stuff.
And for me, it's all happening at my home.
For you, it's all happening in the
family.
home, with your most intimate relationships.
Exactly.
Fascinating.
Isn't it?
Fascinating.
Because I'm doing this for a close friend.
With everybody. Should we go through all of the houses in Capricorn?
Oh, I think that would be fascinating. I'm not, let's give it a try. It might be really good for people.
Okay, we just did the 4th and the 10th. So
we just did the 4th and the 10th. So let's do the 5th and the 11th.
Okay.
So if Capricorn is your 5th house, no, sorry. Yeah. Let's go with 11th.
Okay.
If Capricorn is the 11th house and Cancer is the 5th house, then the emotions have to do with a child or a creative project or your sex life.
Okay.
And what's going on in the outer world, what Mercury is talking about, what the sun is illuminating, has to do with those 11th house things, which are group activities.
Yeah.
What you're doing with other people in a larger context, in a public way.
Right, right.
And so very different than you and I.
A collective in a collective way.
Collective in a collective way. Exactly. Yeah. And if it's a 12th house Capricorn and a 12th house Cancer.
Well, it wouldn't be 12th house there, but yeah.
Right. Then your moon is in if Cancer is your 12th house.
The moon is your 6th house.
And
no. Yes.
Right. Then the moon is in a a situation of reflecting back to the 12th house. Here's your work activity. Here's your dealing with day-to-day duties,
Day-to-day habits and stuff. Yeah.
habits, exactly. Health related issues,
Yeah.
and then maybe behind the scenes or karmic issues
Right.
is being illuminated and talked about.
Right. Right. Okay. First house.
So
Capricorn first house.
yeah, moon's in your
Moon's in your seventh house.
moon's in your 7th house. It's all about the emotional impact of your relationships.
Right.
Relationships can be personal or professional.
Ooh, that's got to be really hard for people who have first house Capricorn right now, because it's all like, oh, my identity is in upheaval, and it's got to do with my relationships.
Right. But they've
Ooh,
got a helping hand
okay,
from
okay.
whatever's going on here in their 4th house.
Yeah.
Their home, well, their home is changing.
Right. Look to your 4th house. Yeah.
Yeah, look to your 4th house for where the helping hand is. Now, if it's a 2nd house, then this is your 8th house. So the emotions have to do with, other people, institutions. What else is 8th house?
I think of your like subterranean
Subterranean, yeah.
hidden desires.
Exactly. And then your
Who's talking about
house,
it?
right? Then you're going to be dealing much more with a Capricornian. Wait, I lost my house.
Your 3rd house. We're on 3rd
Third
house now.
house. No,
Yeah.
we're still on 2nd house. The Capricornian 2nd house, which would be related to money. So a big focus on how you're making your money, or how you're spending your money.
Oh, yeah. Or your like retirement fund.
Right.
Could be
Exactly.
changing.
And this could have an emotional impact, but there's a helping hand again with a change
Yeah.
that may have occurred between your 8th house and your 2nd house.
Yeah.
So if it's your 3rd house, and of course, your 3rd house is your house of day-to-day, activities, your friendships, errands, those
Yeah.
kinds of things that are more close to yourself. Then the opposite is your 9th house.
Ah, yes.
And so the sun and the Mercury are, you're talking about and illuminating travel that may be broader, maybe going on a longer trip, or higher learning, or beliefs, changing belief systems. Maybe there's a positive transformation in the way you or someone close to you is changing the way they believe about things.
Oh, wow. Hey, that's nice to hear that that's a possibility at this moon.
Exactly.
Which house is this? When Capricorn is your 9th house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you mean Taurus? Yeah, this would be, let's see, that would be 3rd. So this would be with a Taurus 1st house.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
First house. First house.
So let's see, 4th, and we still have 4th and 5th house. We did 4th because
I got lost. Yeah.
I know it's so hard when we go around the whole wheel.
It's hard because you're doing houses for different signs. You're like, well, when it's this house and this house and this house, as opposed to just like sticking to one.
Well, we've come back to you now. So you're the 4th house Cancer.
I am 4th house Cancer. Yeah.
Right. So that means that the emotions are illuminating what's going on in your home, family, and deep roots, ancestral roots, deep psychology.
Oh.
That's where your emotions are. The focus is on, the discussion is on what's going on in your 10th house is being highlighted, which is your outer world, your career. And the helping hand is a change.
Okay.
And the change, of course, is coming from the 2nd house, which is the money you earn.
Okay.
Does it fit?
It fits perfectly.
It fits, doesn't it?
It fits perfectly, even more so because you're like, oh, so it's your deep roots is where the emotion is. And I'm like, the emotion, the thing that's made me really angry this week is like the sense of betrayal. And I've been told before that like I have this like past life stuff about issues around betrayal. And I like made an appointment with the Reiki person who's like, oh, we got to work on this betrayal you're carrying in your body.
Well, and here we see it played out as above, so below.
As above, so below, as within, so without.
And but that gets us into something I find really interesting. It's like Venus, baby.
Oh, what's Venus
Oh,
doing?
the
What's she
Venus
doing to the
square.
shellfish on the shore?
Yeah. This Venus square, Uranus, and
Okay.
Venus is going to be going through a great big deal here this year in Leo.
Really?
Venus is going to get, remember that the, Venus makes a 5-point star in the sky
Yeah.
every 8 years. This
Yeah.
year, Leo.
Yay.
So Leo is going to be a major focal point. And right now, what we're seeing is Venus just about, it's at the tail end of Capricorn. It's going to enter Aquarius. And, or sorry, it is in Aquarius. Excuse me, that's Mercury. Venus is in Aquarius, just entered it at 4 degrees. It's going to square starting on January 9th. It's pulling into the square now.
Okay.
Just approaching the square right now with Uranus. And as you see, it's going to last until, that's supposed to say the 19th, not the 99th.
Is it at 9 degrees?
It is going to be square at 14 degrees
Okay.
with Uranus. So Uranus is going retrograde. So
Oh,
Uranus is going to back down to the 14th degree, and Venus is going to pull up to the 14th degree, and
okay.
that's where we're going to get our square on the 9th.
But right now, Venus 4 degrees, I'm looking at my chart. I'm not sure which one you picked out, but it's a council of ancestors.
Ah, yeah. And isn't
That's
that
not a
just
bad
right?
square. That's not a bad square. That's like beneficial change. That's like the council of ancestors working on that change point, whatever you called it, thallium or something. I don't know.
Alias, exactly. Because that's exactly what's going on is here's the helping hand, and
Yeah.
Venus is our benefic. So
Yeah.
the Venus is helping Uranus make the change.
This is like the first time ever that a square is helpful.
Well,
I
as
mean,
somebody I personally have a lot of squares in my chart,
yeah.
and I love change. I'm a Uranian friend. Uranus
Yeah.
is my friend.
I like change too.
I like change because, if you don't like it, just wait, it'll change. That was something I grew up with.
But it's like I don't feel like I've ever really noticed a Venus Uranus square, and it's like, oh, that's just a good thing.
That's just a good thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is really something that's cool and positive that's going to really help break this tension. And, all this is about, look what we just left. We
Yeah.
just left, starting in 2020, we have had 3 freaking years, excuse me, of Uranus square Saturn.
It's true. It's true.
After the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like Saturn and Uranus, Saturn and Jupiter went through this portal with
Right.
with Uranus.
On the winter
Saturn.
solstice.
I'll say it right. Saturn and Jupiter went through a portal with Pluto
Yes.
back in 2020, and that introduced us. It wasn't just a COVID, but Rick Levine talks about the culture of fear we entered.
Ah, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
COVID just was a symptom of the culture of fear that we entered, and we're exiting this. And some of the other things that the chart is showing us, but Venus and Uranus particularly are, because Uranus was major in all these changes, Uranus square Saturn.
Yeah.
So Venus is guiding us out of this in a way that I think is really dynamic.
Can I tell you what 14 Aquarius is?
Oh gosh, please.
When Venus hits its square with Uranus. 14 Aquarius. 2 lovebirds sitting on a fence and singing happily.
Yeah. Thank you. We need some of that. Give us some happy songbirds.
Yeah, give us some happy songbirds.
I'm ready for happy songbirds.
Yeah.
All right, let me scoot down here. Let's see. I've got Venus in Aquarius. You know, we're just into Aquarius now, squaring Uranus. It's also going to be square the moon's nodes.
Where are the nodes? Nice. Nice.
So there's a moving towards and a letting go that's required when something squares the nodes.
Mm-hmm.
So what you value, Venus, turns a corner in response to your changing needs.
Mm,
So you have to let go of something that's outworn
it's true.
and adjust your desires to be more inclusive in some way.
Okay.
So for me, I mean, Venus in Aquarius, that's my fifth house. So I have to let go of something in where the nodes are. The node is, sorry, I should know this just off the top of my head, obviously in Scorpio and Taurus, duh. So
Yeah.
letting go of something in your Scorpio house
Yeah.
to move towards something in your Taurus house.
And you can totally go back to previous videos because we've been talking about that axis for a while.
Exactly. But it's about to change.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what, Kat? It's going to hit Libra Aries next.
Yeah.
A year and a half, a big old change for Libra Aries.
I
Woot
want
or
it.
ah.
I want it.
Yeah, we both love the change, though.
Yeah, we need to go on a trip. That's what needs to happen.
Absolutely. So then the really big deal here has been Mars, because we've had Mars in Gemini for 7 months.
Oh, God.
So what's
Yeah.
Mars done for you? What have you felt about Mars in your it's your third house.
Oh.
You've been making a lot of errands.
I've been running a lot of errands because I am responsible for my household.
I think of Mars as like chicken with head cut off.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is it that way, or is it structured, or
I mean, it's not that overwhelming, but it's just I was complaining the other day about how I have to wake up people, how I myself don't have to wake up to go anywhere, except I have teenage children who can't seem to wake themselves up. And so for some reason I have to continue to get up and wake them up. And I just don't really think I should have to do that anymore.
that seems very Mars and Gemini. Do you have
Yeah.
two teenage children?
I have two teenage children.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
perfect with Mars and Gemini. Do they happen to be male?
they do. They
Yeah,
do.
men in Gemini. Uh-huh. Yeah, that seems right. I think you'll be doing this through March.
Oh, so are you telling me it will end in March?
Well, it could, because right now, and this is where I want you to look up this degree symbol, because Mars is going to be at 8 degrees of Gemini for all of freaking January,
Oh,
for
Jesus.
most of it.
Okay, let me find Gemini. 8 degrees of Gemini. Okay, I'm going to read you both of them. 7-8 Gemini, aroused strikers round a factory. So a picket line, basically. And the 8-9 Gemini is a quiver filled with arrows.
Ooh, interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's just sitting there for the whole month.
Whole month, Mars is just going to be like, I feel like going to battle. Or I'm going to prepare for battle. Or I'm going to tell you everything I think about you and the way you do your business.
What about 26 degrees? Because that's when we finally move forward.
It's either winter frost in the woods, or, oh, I love this one. A young gypsy emerging from the woods gazes at far cities.
Ah, that's nice. That really fits with the Uranian thing,
I think that's the one.
moving
Yeah.
to the future.
Yeah.
So this
Coming
is
out of the
really
woods and
nice.
moving away to far cities. Yeah.
This is really nice. Well, we're gonna run out of time in a minute just because I did it the way I did it, but there's some trines coming up. So give a little positive at the end of this. Sun in Capricorn trine Uranus and moon sextile Uranus. Again, that's our point of Thales, solving disputes or disagreements. So, if there's something going on that's been needing to be addressed,
Yeah.
now's a good time to get it addressed.
Yeah, clear the air. Yeah.
And then on January 8th, just in a couple of days, Mercury in Capricorn will also be trine Uranus. And the third pass, so this is the second time, because Mercury's going retrograde, it's going to also trine Uranus on the 28th of this month.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
So this is something where you get a couple of tries.
And Venus is going to trine Mars.
That's it. January 9th, I think that Venus trine Mars is going to be really lovely.
Yeah. That's exciting. Like plan some great date for that night. Even if it's just like a self-care date, that might be the best kind of date.
Absolutely.
Bubble bath.
Bubble bath. It's sun in Capricorn, but our moon, our lovely moon, is at home in Cancer.
Yeah.
And just really wants to cuddle up, eat some chocolate.
Chocolate. Float on the clouds.
Yeah.
Snuggle in a down blanket.
Yeah, cuddle in a down blanket with some cocoa.
Yeah.
In front of a fire.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
After getting out of a bubble bath.
Oh yeah. All right. I want to go do it right now.
I'm gonna do that right now. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope everybody has a beautiful full moon. And we'll see you on the new moon.
Hi.
Hi, you guys. I have to actually stop my share before I can end it. So, any final words?
No.
Okay. All right. Enjoy your bubble bath. See you next time. See ya.
Yeah.